What happens when an innocent child's answer on live television creates a moment so unexpected that even the most experienced host in America freezes in disbelief? The studio lights dim, the audience gasps, and what should have been just another fun family segment becomes a viral sensation that millions will replay over and over again. The Warner Brothers studio in Burbank, California, is buzzing with its usual pre-show energy on this particular Thursday afternoon in late September. The air conditioning hums steadily, fighting against the intense heat generated by the massive stage lights that illuminate the iconic Family Feud set. Crew members rush back and forth, adjusting cameras, checking microphones, and ensuring every technical detail is perfect for the live taping. The audience, a diverse mix of tourists and locals who waited months for these coveted tickets, fills the bleachers with anticipation. Their excited chatter creates a symphony of voices that echoes through the cavernous studio space. Steve Harvey stands backstage in his dressing room, adjusting his burgundy suit jacket in front of a full-length mirror. At 66 years old, he has hosted Family Feud for over a decade, and his reputation as the king of reactions has made him a household name. His mustache is perfectly groomed, his bald head gleams under the fluorescent lights, and his signature pocket square is folded with precision. He takes a deep breath, mentally preparing himself for another show filled with unexpected answers, awkward moments, and the kind of spontaneous comedy that has made Family Feud one of the most watched game shows in America. His assistant knocks on the door, signaling it is time. Steve nods, flashes his million-dollar smile, and heads toward the stage. Before we continue with this incredible story, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, click it. And while you are at it, smash that hype button because it helps this channel reach more people like you who love these amazing moments. Drop a comment below telling me what you think is going to happen next. Your support means everything, and it takes just 2 seconds. Let us keep this community growing together. The Johnson family stands on one side of the podium, their matching blue shirts emblazoned with their family name in bold white letters. Marcus Johnson, the father, is a 42-year-old construction foreman from Atlanta, Georgia. His wife, Keisha, teaches 3rd grade at a local elementary school. Their 3 children complete the team, ranging from 17-year-old Jasmine down to 7-year-old Malik, the youngest member who barely reaches the height of the podium. Malik wears oversized glasses that keep sliding down his nose, and his gap-toothed smile radiates pure innocence. He clutches a small stuffed dinosaur in one hand, a comfort item his mother allowed him to bring despite the producer's initial hesitation. Across from them stands the Rodriguez family from Phoenix, Arizona. They are equally enthusiastic, their red shirts creating a visual contrast that the cameras love. The energy between the two families is competitive but friendly, exactly the dynamic that makes for great television. Steve Harvey walks onto the stage to thunderous applause, his presence immediately commanding attention. He greets both families with his characteristic warmth, shaking hands, cracking jokes, and putting everyone at ease. The game begins with the usual rhythm, questions about popular survey answers, buzzers ringing, and Steve's perfectly timed reactions to ridiculous responses. 3 rounds pass without incident. The Johnson family takes an early lead, thanks to Marcus's quick thinking on a question about things people do at the beach. Keisha successfully guesses the #1 answer for favorite pizza toppings. Jasmine, the eldest daughter, confidently names popular baby shower gifts. The Rodriguez family fights back valiantly, but the Johnsons maintain their advantage. The studio audience cheers with each correct answer, their enthusiasm building as the game progresses. Steve moves between the families with practiced ease, his commentary adding layers of humor to every interaction. Then comes the fast money round. The Johnsons have won the right to play for $20,000 and the pressure is palpable. Marcus goes first, answering 5 rapid-fire questions with impressive speed. He scores 187 points, a solid foundation but not quite enough to secure the win. Now it is Malik's turn. The 7-year-old approaches the podium with his mother by his side, as the rules allow for younger contestants. Steve kneels down to Malik's eye level, his expression softening as he addresses the child. The audience collectively holds its breath, charmed by the sight of this tiny contestant about to determine his family's fate. Steve's voice is gentle but clear. "All right, little man, you ready to help your family win this money?" Malik nods vigorously, his glasses sliding down again. Keisha gently pushes them back up, whispering words of encouragement. Steve stands and reads the first question from his card. Name something people say when they are surprised. Malik thinks for barely a second before answering. Wow. The board reveals it is the number 2 answer. 23 points. The audience applauds. Steve smiles and continues. Name a popular pet. Malik responds immediately. Dog. Number 1 answer. 39 points. The momentum is building. Name a place people go on vacation, Steve reads, his rhythm smooth and professional. Beach, Malik says confidently. Another top answer. 31 points. The family is getting closer to the magic number of 200. The tension in the studio is electric. Cameras zoom in on Marcus and the rest of the Johnson family standing off to the side, their faces a mixture of hope and anxiety. Steve moves to the 4th question, his tone still encouraging. Name something you might find in a woman's purse. Malik pauses, his young mind working through the possibilities. Lipstick. He finally answers. The board lights up. 28 points. They are now at 168 points total, just 32 points away from victory. Steve Harvey takes a breath and reads the final question, the one that will determine whether the Johnson family drives home with $20,000 or leaves with just their dignity and a participation prize. The question is simple, innocent, designed to be easy enough for a child to answer. Name something that starts with the letter M, that a mom might call her child. The studio audience murmurs with anticipation. It is a straightforward question with obvious answers. My love, my dear, my sweetie, my angel, my baby. The possibilities seem endless and wholesome. Malik does not hesitate. His voice, high-pitched and clear, rings out through the studio with absolute confidence. Motherfucker. The word hangs in the air for what feels like an eternity. The studio falls into a silence so profound that the hum of the air conditioning becomes deafening. Steve Harvey's face undergoes a transformation that will be captured in high definition and replayed millions of times across social media platforms. His eyes widen to an almost cartoonish degree. His mouth drops open. His entire body freezes mid-gesture, one hand still holding the question card, the other suspended in the air. For perhaps the first time in his extensive career, Steve Harvey is rendered completely speechless. The audience reaction comes in waves. First there is shock, a collective gasp that ripples through the bleachers. Then, as the reality of what just happened sinks in, nervous laughter begins to bubble up from various sections. Some people cover their mouths in disbelief. Others look around to see if they heard correctly. The camera operators, seasoned professionals who have seen countless unexpected moments, struggle to keep their cameras steady as their shoulders shake with suppressed laughter. The production crew in the control booth erupts into chaos, voices overlapping as they try to figure out how to handle this unprecedented situation. Keisha Johnson's face drains of all color. Her hand flies to her mouth as she stares down at her son in absolute horror. Malik, completely oblivious to the magnitude of what he has just said, looks up at Steve with innocent expectation, waiting for the board to reveal his answer. His gap-toothed smile remains in place, his stuffed dinosaur still clutched in his small hand. Marcus and the rest of the family stand frozen off stage, their expressions a mixture of mortification and disbelief. Jasmine, the teenage daughter, has her face buried in her hands, already imagining the social media nightmare that is about to unfold. Steve Harvey finally finds his voice, though it comes out as more of a strangled sound than actual words. What? What did you just say? He looks at the producers off camera, his expression pleading for guidance. Malik, thinking Steve did not hear him clearly, repeats his answer with even more confidence and volume. Motherfucker. That is what my mom calls me when she is mad. The second utterance breaks whatever remaining composure existed in the studio. The audience explodes into uncontrollable laughter. People are doubled over, tears streaming down their faces, gasping for air between fits of hysterics. Steve Harvey drops the question card, both hands now covering his face as his shoulders shake with laughter. He turns away from the podium, walking in a small circle, trying desperately to regain his professional composure. His burgundy suit jacket stretches across his back as he bends forward, hands on his knees, taking deep breaths. The cameras follow his every movement, capturing what will become one of the most iconic moments in game show history. When he finally turns back around, his eyes are watering, and his carefully maintained professional demeanor has completely crumbled. Keisha Johnson is now in full damage control mode. She kneels down beside Malik, her voice an urgent whisper that the microphones barely pick up. "Baby, no. That is not what Mommy says. You mean my little man or my sweet boy, right?" But Malik shakes his head with the stubborn certainty that only a 7-year-old can possess. "No, Mama. You say it all the time when I do not clean my room or when I spill juice. You say, 'Malik, you little motherfucker, clean that up right now.'" The audience loses it again, the laughter now mixed with gasps and exclamations of disbelief. Steve Harvey has to sit down on the edge of the stage, his legs apparently unable to support him anymore. A production assistant rushes over with a bottle of water, which Steve accepts gratefully, taking several long gulps while trying to compose himself. The director in the control booth is frantically communicating with the network executives, trying to determine if they can even air this footage or if the entire segment will need to be reshot. The legal team is already being consulted about liability and broadcast standards. Meanwhile, the moment continues to unfold in real time, completely unscripted and utterly unprecedented. Marcus Johnson finally finds his voice from offstage. "Keisha." His tone carries a mixture of accusation, embarrassment, and barely suppressed laughter. Keisha's face somehow manages to turn an even deeper shade of red. She stands up, facing the audience and cameras with her hands raised in a gesture of surrender. "I can explain," she begins, her voice shaking. "I have never ever called my child that word. He must have heard it somewhere else. Maybe at school or from a movie or—" She trails off as Malik tugs on her shirt, his innocent face looking up at her with confusion. "But Mama, you said it yesterday when I broke your favorite cup, and last week when I drew on the wall, and when I let the dog out and he ran away for 3 hours. Malik's matter-of-fact recitation of these incidents, delivered with the pure honesty that children are incapable of filtering, sends the audience into another wave of hysterical laughter. Several people are now standing, applauding the absurdity of the situation. Steve Harvey has his head in his hands again, his entire body convulsing with laughter. Tears are streaming down his face, ruining his carefully applied makeup. The producers make a decision. They signal to Steve that they are cutting to commercial, giving everyone a chance to reset and figure out how to proceed. Steve nods gratefully, standing up and walking over to the Johnson family. The cameras continue rolling for behind-the-scenes footage, capturing what happens during the break. Steve approaches Keisha with his arms open, pulling her into a comforting hug as she dissolves into embarrassed laughter and tears. It is okay, he reassures her, though his own laughter makes his words less convincing. This is television gold. Your son just created a moment that people will be talking about for years. Malik, still completely unaware of why everyone is reacting so strongly, tugs on Steve's jacket. "Mr. Steve, did I get the answer right? Is it on the board?" Steve kneels down again, this time taking both of Malik's small hands in his own. His expression is gentle, his voice kind, despite the humor of the situation. "Little man, that was definitely an answer, but it is not one we can put on the board. Do you know any other names that start with M that your mama might call you? Nice names." Malik thinks hard, his face scrunching up with concentration. "My baby?" he offers tentatively. Steve nods enthusiastically. "Yes, that is perfect. Let us go with that one instead." During the commercial break, the production team huddles together, making rapid decisions about how to handle the situation. The consensus is that they will reshoot Malik's final answer, allowing him to say something appropriate while preserving the integrity of the game. However, everyone agrees that the original footage is too priceless to completely discard. Plans are already being made to release it as a blooper, possibly on social media or as part of a special behind-the-scenes compilation. The legal team confirms that with proper editing and context, they can share the moment without violating broadcast standards, though it will require careful handling. The show resumes after the break. Steve Harvey, now somewhat composed, though his eyes still sparkle with residual amusement, addresses the audience directly. Folks, we just experienced something that in all my years of hosting this show, I have never seen before. We are going to give young Malik here another chance to answer that question, and I am confident he is going to give us a great answer this time. The audience applauds supportively, their earlier shock now transformed into affectionate amusement. Malik stands at the podium again, this time with his father Marcus beside him instead of his mother, a strategic substitution suggested by the producers. Steve reads the question again. Name something that starts with the letter M that a mom might call her child. Malik, now coached and prepared, answers clearly, my baby. The board reveals it is the number one answer, worth 42 points. The total score flips to 210 points, well over the 200 needed to win. The Johnson family erupts in celebration, rushing onto the stage to embrace Malik and each other. Confetti falls from the ceiling, music blares through the speakers, and Steve Harvey presents them with the oversized $20,000 check. The moment is joyful, triumphant, and perfectly suitable for broadcast. But everyone in that studio knows the real story. As the Johnson family poses for photos with Steve and their winning check, the crew members are already texting friends and family about what they just witnessed. The audience members are pulling out their phones, eager to tell their own versions of the story to anyone who will listen. Social media is about to explode, and the legend of Malik Johnson's shocking answer is about to be born. Steve Harvey, ever the professional, manages to wrap up the show with his usual charm and humor, but his closing remarks include a knowing wink to the camera that suggests there is more to this story than what made it to air. 3 days later, the edited episode airs on national television. The Johnson family watches from their living room in Atlanta, surrounded by friends and neighbors who have come over for a viewing party. When Malik's segment airs, showing his corrected answer and the family's victory, everyone cheers. It is a feel-good moment, exactly the kind of wholesome entertainment that Family Feud is known for. But Keisha Johnson knows that the other shoe is about to drop. She has been warned by the producers that the blooper footage will be released on social media the following day, and she has spent the past 72 hours mentally preparing for the inevitable viral storm. The blooper drops on Family Feud's official social media accounts at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on a Monday morning. Within 30 minutes, it has been viewed over 1 million times. Within 2 hours, it is trending on every major platform. By the end of the day, it has been shared, remixed, memed, and discussed by everyone from morning talk shows to late-night comedians. Malik Johnson becomes an overnight sensation, his innocent face and shocking answer capturing the internet's collective imagination. The clip is dissected, analyzed, and celebrated as one of the greatest unscripted moments in television history. Keisha Johnson's phone does not stop ringing. Friends, relatives, former classmates, and even strangers somehow find her number and call to discuss the video. Her school principal calls to assure her that her job is not in jeopardy, though he cannot resist laughing about the situation. Her own mother calls, torn between being mortified and amused, demanding to know if Keisha actually uses such language around her grandchildren. Keisha's explanations become increasingly elaborate, ranging from complete denial to claims that Malik must have misheard her saying something else entirely, though no one really believes her. Marcus finds the whole situation hilarious once the initial embarrassment wears off. He creates a t-shirt with Malik's face and the caption, "I shocked Steve Harvey," and wears it proudly around the neighborhood. Their older children, initially mortified, begin to see the humor as well, especially when their social media followings explode with new friend requests and followers. Malik himself remains blissfully unaware of his fame, more excited about the new bicycle his parents bought him with a small portion of their winnings than about being recognized at the grocery store. Steve Harvey addresses the viral moment on his own social media accounts, posting a video where he watches the clip again and laughs just as hard as he did the first time. "In all my years of doing this show," he says to the camera, "I have heard some wild answers. But this little man right here, he broke me. He absolutely broke me. And you know what? I love it. This is why I do what I do. You cannot script moments like this. This is pure, unfiltered, unexpected television magic." His post receives millions of likes and thousands of comments, with people sharing their own stories of children saying inappropriate things at the worst possible times. The Johnson family is invited to appear on several talk shows to discuss their viral moment. They accept a few offers, with Malik charming audiences with his continued innocence and confusion about why everyone thinks his answer was so funny. Keisha uses the platform to promote her school's literacy program, turning her 15 minutes of fame into something positive. Marcus talks about the importance of family game nights and quality time with children. The family handles their unexpected celebrity with grace and humor, becoming beloved figures in the process. Months later, Family Feud releases its annual blooper reel, and Malik's moment is featured prominently as the grand finale. Steve Harvey introduces it personally, building up the anticipation before the clip plays one more time for a national television audience. The laughter is just as loud, the shock just as genuine, and the moment just as perfect as it was that September afternoon in Burbank. The clip wins several awards for Best Unscripted Television Moment of the Year, and Steve Harvey jokes during his acceptance speech that he should split the award with Malik. The $20,000 the Johnson family won changes their lives in practical ways. They pay off some debt, put money into college funds for their children, and take a family vacation to Disney World, their first real vacation in years. But the real prize, they all agree, is the story they will tell for the rest of their lives. The time little Malik shocked Steve Harvey, stopped a television show, and created a moment of pure, unexpected comedy that brought joy to millions of people around the world. In the end, what started as a routine taping of a popular game show became something much more significant. It became a reminder that the best moments in life are often the ones we cannot plan or predict. It became a testament to the honesty of children and the chaos they bring into our carefully ordered adult worlds. It became a viral sensation that transcended the usual 15-second attention span of the internet, remaining relevant and funny long after most viral moments fade into obscurity. And it became a story about a family, a little boy with glasses and a stuffed dinosaur, and the day they made Steve Harvey laugh harder than he had laughed in years. Hey my friends, help me by subscribing to the channel so we can reach 1,000 subscribers, even if you are watching from your TV or computer. Your subscription makes all the difference, and the algorithm will help you see more amazing stories. Leave a like or an emoji in the comments, and be part of this growth.